Okay, people, as we have discussed, that I will do a quick video of what we have learned so far in terms of development using CAD. So we're working on this paper November 2019. I'll also send this paper on the group in case you don't have it. All right, let's dive in. So we are doing question 3. We need to draw the given views. Scale is 1:1, and then we need to develop the surface of the hexagonal pipe. First thing that you need to do is open your CAD program. So make sure that on this icon here, customize control, let me click on that, and then under option, select default workspace. Select default workspace. Make sure that your CAD is there, is not on the LTE workspace. If it's on the LTE workspace, you are not going to be able to follow along on this video. Make sure that your CAD is on default workspace. Okay, if it's on LTE workspace, you'll see by this ribbon down here, which I don't like. I prefer default workspace, so I'll switch back my CAD to default workspace. And then what I will need to do now, I need to change what you see here, IN inches. I want to see mm there, millimeters. Go to format, under space units, I'll check metric there and click OK. I'll also do the same thing with my paper here. Click down here, paper, and then I'll go to format, and under space units again I'll change to metric, and then I'll click OK. Let me realign my paper. So as you know, the next thing that we need to do by now is to draw the borderline. Go to your line tool, hold and click there if this menu doesn't pop out. Once it has popped out, select the rectangle, change the width of the line or the thickness to 0.5. Now press tab on your keyboard until X coordinate is highlighted. Once it's highlighted, punch 10 for Y, also punch 10 and then press enter. So if you move your mouse around, you'll see that the rectangle is starting from somewhere on your paper. If it's starting on the 0 and 0 corner, which means that on your coordinate you didn't punch 10 10. If you made a mistake, you can always press the space button and press the Control Z, undo, and start afresh. Once you've pressed enter and then your rectangle is starting from the 10 and 10 coordinates, you need to define the end point. I prefer to put 287 there for X, and then for Y you put 200 and then you press enter, and then you'll have your rectangle. So the thing that I forgot to do here first is to do my page setup. Let me quickly go to the page setup. You click file and then you go to page setup, and then you change here on the size to A4. Also here under drawing sheet size you also change to A4 as well, and then we press OK. So our page should be fine now. Okay, Here we go. Let's do now the title block. On the corner there, okay, first you need to select your rectangle and make sure that your thickness is 0.5. Go to that corner there. When you see the red square, you click, move your mouse around, and now put 100 there for size A, and then for size B start with 30. Press enter. Your rectangle should be drawn. Go back to that corner. Again, drag your mouse until this point here. Size A is 100 as well. Size B, you can put 10 now. And then again, click on this corner here. Drag your cursor towards our left vertical line and then leave it there. Don't click. Put 100 for size A. Again, for size B, put 10. And then press enter. So it depends on what you will be doing, and then you will be asked to put your details accordingly. So to put your information there, go to that A there, press and hold your mouse, and then select multi-text. Click on one corner here and click on the other corner. So you should be able to write, and make sure here, up here, we are on 18pt. 18pt. If you are not on 18pt or you have 0.7 or something, make sure that you select 18pt or anything above and click okay. Let me go back. Okay, if you have 18pt, you can type depending on what you'll be asked to write. Let's start there and say name and initials. Another thing is that when you type here, guys, make sure that your caps lock is on. We want capital letters. Say name and initials. Once you are done typing there, you press OK, and then next we can do our next item. We can put the date and then press OK once you are done. And our last item there, I don't know, we can put the student number, student number. Once we are done, press OK. So everything is fine as it is. Now let's go to our model space. Now we need to draw our model. So as you can see, we have a hexagon, and the dimension that we are given here, it is the side. Okay, firstly we need to determine our center lines. So we will need to draw on our CAD a horizontal center line as well as our vertical center line. Center lines are very helpful. So here, let me see, since we have 30 here, we have another 30 here and another 30 here. So let's just say our horizontal center line is 100, 100 millimeter long. You can make any size you prefer, but I always like to size my center lines accordingly. So our vertical center line for this portion here, since we have 100 and then, as you know, we need to leave some gap between our top view and our front view. Usually can leave anything above 20, but not more than 40. So this is 100 and this is 20, and 51 plus 9 is 60. So we can make this top part here for a vertical center line to be 70. You can make it to be 70. So it's 100 plus 70 plus 20. We can make anything from 180, 180, 190. Okay, let's go to our center lines now. To your line tool, and you select the line. Just change the line property to be a center line, and then the thickness, let's leave it as 0.1. Once we are there, we are drawing a horizontal center line first. A horizontal center line. Okay, you press tab until X is highlighted. Put 0 there for X, and then for Y you can go ahead and put 0 as well, and press enter. Center line will be starting somewhere. Now we need to define our endpoints. So we said it's 100 millimeter long. Put 100 for X, and then for Y you put 0, and then you press enter, and then you press your space button. Now we need to recenter our line. Make sure that you press your space button every time when you are done drawing, and you need to do something else. Let's recenter this center line. Click on the center line, press tab until POS X is highlighted. Put 0 for POS X, and then for POS Y is 0 as well. Make sure that you have 0 and press enter. You see that our center line has shifted now. Okay, we can zoom extend if we want, and zoom out using our mouse wheel. Okay, what is next is our vertical center line. Again, let's pick the line tool. Thickness is 0.1. Let's go to essentially what we want here. We want this center line. Remember, at the origin of our polygon we have 0 and 0, 0 for X and 0 for Y, and we want our center line to start somewhere under there. So we can make it to start, since we have 100 here, this part here is 50. Let's just make it start it at minus 50, at Y minus 50, but X is 0, né? Okay, let's go ahead. Once we have selected the line tool, make sure that we have center line and the thickness is 0.1. Press tab. We said X is 0 but Y is minus 50. Let's do that and press enter. So our line starts somewhere below. Let's see now our length. Let's make it 180. Length A, let's put 180 there for our length, and then tap and put our angle there 90 degrees and press enter, and then press the space button. We can come up here, zoom extend, and realign our drawing. Okay, let's go to our next item now. We are going to draw the hexagon. We are done with the center lines. I can go ahead and erase. I don't want this to disturb us. If you have a laptop, guys, make sure that you practice CAD more often. Okay, we are given the side dimension there, and this hexagon is lying on its flat side. Okay, let me go back to my drawing. Go to your line tool and select the polygon, this first one here. Once it's selected, go to the center point of your center lines. Once you are there, okay, before we do that, let's change our line properties there. You can always change it even after you have drawn. Let's change it first. Let's go to our center now. Press I once you are there. So we want our hexagon to be this way. Okay, sides. Our hexagon have six sides. Leave it at 6, and then angle, leave it as 0. If this first icon here is selected, but if we have our second icon selected, we need to put 30, and then we said our side is 30 as well, you see. But if you have this first icon vertex mode selected, our hexagon is standing on its sharp point, which is this vertex here. We need to put 0 there. Okay, once you are done, you can press enter. Okay, there is our hexagon. Press your space button to exit, and then okay, what is next? Next, we need to draw our front view, but as you all know, we need to project these lines as our guide. We need to project these lines from the edges of our polygon. Let's go ahead and do that. Select the line tool where you took the hexagon, select line, and then change the properties to 0 because we're just doing the construction lines. Let's come here to this edge here. Once you are there, go ahead and press I on your keyboard, and then press the shift button. Just extend your line until it is high enough. I'll leave mine as high as my center line there. As high as my center line. Look what happens when I didn't press shift. I want this line to be exactly vertical. So if it's not vertical, I need to press shift. Shift will lock my mouse to be vertical. Even if I move my mouse around, excuse me, at other angles. So once I'm satisfied with my length, I click on my mouse. I go to my next edge, my next corner. Once I'm there, I click there. Again, I extend my line vertical while pressing my shift button. Don't leave the shift button until you click. Go to my next corner there, I click there on the corner, press my shift button to lock it in place, and then once I've extended enough, I click on my mouse. I go to my last corner there, I do the same thing, I extend and then I click. Okay, since we said that this gap here, okay, we are done with the projection lines. Since we said this gap between our top view and our front view is 20 millimeter, so which means I need to draw a horizontal line 20 millimeter away from my top edge of my hexagon. Let's go to our program. I select my line tool. I want to draw a solid line. Make sure that I'm on solid, and then my thickness, I change it to 0.5. If I position my mouse here, I will notice that my Y here is 26. Nah? If I round it off to a whole number, that is 26. So I need to add 20 on top of that 26, which means it will be 46, my Y. So in terms of my X, I want my line to start from this line here. So if I take a look there, I will see -30 if I position my mouse around this point. And again, make sure that the snap mode is on. It must not be this gray, it must be white. So as you see, my line will be x -30 and y will be 46. Let me press tab. Don't click anywhere. Press tab and put there -30, and then y you put there 46, and then you press enter. So my line is starting at those points that I have defined there. And you see, I want my line to be perfectly horizontal. Let me go ahead and press shift to lock it in place. Once it's locked, I can click. So there is my line now. Now what I need to do next, I need to draw these vertical lines. This line, that line there, and the last one. After I've drawn those lines, I'll just go ahead and join the endpoints of these lines here. Okay, let me start with this one, 16 millimeter. Pick your line tool, set your thickness to 0.5, go to my first corner here. Once I'm there, I can click or press I. My line will begin there. Since press tab and change the first block length to be 16, and then the angle is 90 degrees, and then press enter. So you see, as you can see that, let me zoom in a little bit. You see my line is drawn and is 16 millimeter long. Okay, let's draw the second one now. And the second one, let me see, I'll have to do some little mathematics here. The second one, this one here, is equals to 16 plus 23. What is 16 plus 23? It is 39. My height is 39. Okay, let me draw my line starting from this intersection. Once I'm there, I press I, and then you can see my line is starting there. I'm happy. And then press tab, and the length we set is 39, and then the angle I'll leave it as 90, and then press enter. See, my line is drawn. Okay, let's go to the third one now. The third one is this one here. It's 51 plus 9, that is 60. Let's draw it on this side. No, it's not on the center line. On this side, I press I once I'm there, and then press tab. We say it is 60 millimeter long, and the angle is 0, and I press enter. Okay, we are almost done now. Let me go to my drawing. The last one is 50 millimeter high. I go to my corner there, and then I click or press I. Once I'm there, I will need to define the length, and the length is 51, the angle is 0. I'm happy. I press enter. So there are my lines. Now I need to join these lines. With the same line tool, I go to where my lines ends. So if you don't see your lines, what you need to do, just go ahead and delete these construction lines there. You don't need them anymore. So select them one by one and press delete. Select them, leave the center line, you need the center line. Select and press delete on your keyboard, select and press delete. So now I can clearly see exactly what I'm drawing now. I'll go ahead and select my line tool, and my thickness should be 0.5 and it should be the solid line. I'll go ahead and click this endpoint here next to my endpoint. I'll click again this endpoint and again to my next endpoint. I'll click again that endpoint and click on my next endpoint. So there is my top view and my front view according to the drawing here. Okay, now we need to do the development now. The first thing that you need to do when you are developing, after you've drawn your views according to the drawing as required, you need to number your edges, the edges of your hexagon. Let's go ahead and select our text, multi-text. Let's zoom in on this view here. I usually like to zoom with this zoom window here. Just select it and encompass what you need to see on your screen. You see these dashed lines here. I only want to see this portion here. I only want to see this portion here. Okay. You can also use your mouse wheel to zoom in. For now, disable this snap mode here, uncheck there, and then come to this corner here, click there, hold your shift button and click. I'll call this position 1. Position 1. Well, I don't like the font. This is too big. Let me change this to 4.94. Okay, let me go ahead and 1. Okay, that's much better. And press OK or finish. Let me go to my next point. I click and hold my mouse again. You see now it's changed back to that number that I don't want. I can always go ahead and change it. That's my second point. Once I am done with that point, I press OK. Now I need to do my third point. I click and move my mouse and then press shift button to lock it in place. And okay, of course I need to change this. That's my third corner. I click OK. Again, press and then press your shift button. And there is my fourth corner, 4, and then press OK. Now I'm on my fifth corner. I click. After that, I press my shift button and then I click. Go ahead and change there to, and then the fifth point, and then I press OK. Almost done. The last point now. Last point number 6. I press OK. So I can reposition my numbers if I'm not happy the way they are. Okay, let me press the space button to exit the text. You see this one, I click on it and then I can drag it to come next to my shape. Even this one I can click and drag it. So let me zoom out now, zoom extend. What I want to do next, I want to transfer these points to my front view. So I will click on this one, press on my keyboard Ctrl+C and then Control plus V, copy and paste that. While my snap mode is deactivated, I'll drag it and reposition it here. This must be exactly in line with my number one here. Okay, let me zoom in just a little bit so that I can see exactly what I am doing. Okay, once I'm done with that first point there, I need to click on my second point, do the same thing, Control C, Control V. You see, I need to paste it there, and this one, multi-text, Control C, Control V. I need to put this one in front of this one, because if I stand here, this is my top view. If I stand here and look in this direction, I will see this point first and the other one is behind. That's why I start with this one. This one is on the other end. I'll go ahead and Control C, Control V on my third point. This one should be underneath this number 5 here. Number 5 there. And then lastly, number 4, Control C, Control V, and then I drag with this yellow corner here and I put it there on number 4. Of course, these edges here up high here is the same numbering, so I'm not going to repeat the same numbering. So what I need to do now, I need to drag this by here and then position my drawing on the left so that I can be able to develop on the side. Alright, now that I'm done with the given views and I have numbered my drawing, let me go ahead and select my line tool and excuse me a little bit, let me see my recording. 32 minutes, okay. Alright, since I'm doing a construction line now, let me change that to 0 millimeter. Click on this point here. Okay, let me reactivate my snap mode. Click on this point here and press shift. I'll draw a line of no particular length. It's just my construction points. Again, on all these corners I need to draw horizontal lines on all of those corners there, horizontal lines. Make sure you press your shift button so that you can draw perfectly horizontal lines. That's what you need to do right now. Okay, once those lines are drawn, what you need to do now is to draw your vertical lines. I want my spacing to be 20 millimeter away from the same spacing that we've done here. I want it here. So if I position my mouse here and take note of my x coordinate there, you see that it's on 30, so I need to add 20 there, so that it's around here 50. So my y, let me take off my note of my y is 46. So without clicking anywhere, go ahead and press tab on your keyboard and then make x to be 50 millimeter, y leave it as it is and press enter. There is my line. I need to press the shift button so that my line is perfectly vertical, and then once I'm happy I click there on my last horizontal line there. I click there. Okay, there we go. There is my first line. Now I go ahead and press the space button. So what we need to draw is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vertical lines along these lines here that are 30 millimeters apart. So we need a copy tool. It's called the copy tool. Go to this black space here, right click there. You will have a pop-out menu there. Check this copy, check there. Once you click there, you'll see another menu appearing there. Once it appears, close this here. You can click and drag this up there so that it's not in the way of your drawing. So once you are happy, click on that line there that you've just drawn, and then click here on this first icon, the linear copy. Press it. You'll see something is appearing down here, and you need to put some definitions here. X step is the amount of space that you want between your lines. Let's put 30 here since we want our lines to be 30 millimeters away from each other. And then Y, you can put 0. And then sets, we want to draw 6 more lines, except the one that we've drawn already. Put 6 for sets and then press enter. You'll notice that there we go. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines corresponding to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides of our hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need one more here. Okay. We actually needed to do that 7 steps. Okay, let me Control Z and redo this process. You click on the line and then press here linear copy, and then on the steps, don't click anywhere. Steps, we said 30 steps. Y is 0, and then set, let's make that 7 and press enter. Now we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. I'm happy with that. Now I need to number these lines now. I need to number these lines. I'm running out of time at 20 past 3. I'm knocking off, so I need to move faster. I need to copy these numbers here. You know how to copy. You click, make sure that you have exited the line tool by pressing the space button. Click on the first number there, Control C, Control V, it will be copied. I'll reposition it here. You see now it's misbehaving. I'll need to deactivate the snap mode. I can be able to position it wherever I want. I'll go to the second, number 2, Control V, Control C, Control V. Number 2, I'll place all these numbers accordingly. So guys, this is in preparation for your iSet. Make sure that you know how to develop on the computer with the CAD program. So once you've copied these numbers along your horizontal line, make sure that you also copy number 1. They must go from 1 back to 1, 1 to 6, and then back to 1. All right, now we are ready now to develop. So let me go ahead and select on my line tool the polyline. What we want now, we want our lines here, this vertical line, to correspond with our edges, these corners here. So you see I have 1 here on my vertical line. I need that one to correspond with my 1 on my front view there, my corner. So my 1 and 1 is there. I will have to click there once I see the red dot, or I position my mouse there and press I. So my line is starting there. So with this one, let me change my thickness to be 0.5. Okay, I need a thicker line. I need to reactivate my snap mode back. Okay, my line is starting there now. I need to do 2 and 2. Here is my 2. My 2 on my front view is this corner there. Okay, 2 and 2 is up there. Once I'm there, I press I need to do 3. There is my 3. Where is my 3? This side. There is my 3. So it's on this horizontal line here. There is it. 3 and 3. Press I once I'm there. And then I need my 4 and 4. Here is my 4. Vertically, horizontally, here is my 4. 4 and 4 is here. Once I'm there, I press I. I need to do 5 and 5. 5 is here. And then my 5 horizontally is here. 5 and 5. Once I there, I press I. 6 and 6. There is my 6. This side, my 6 is this highest point here. And I go there, 6 and 6. I press I once I'm there. Now I need my 1 and 1. 1 is there, 1 this side is this one here. There is my 1 and 1. Once I'm there, I press I. So I'm done with this top part now. I'll just go ahead and press here on this intersection and on this one to join my polyline. Once I click on my last point, I need to press the space button. So I have drawn my development. What I need to do now, I go to my line tool, I select the line, I make sure that is 0.5. I need to draw solid vertical lines on these points here, solid vertical lines on these points here. This line is not straight. You see, when you are not using the eye, once you are there where you want to draw, your line will not be perfectly horizontal. Okay, I have all of my lines now, and let me realign this. So with CAD, guys, you don't need all these construction lines. I can go ahead and delete all these construction lines, but drawing on paper, you always need to leave out the construction lines. So now here I'll go ahead and drag my mouse to select these horizontal lines, and then I press delete to remove those ones, and I need to remove these vertical ones. I need to remove this one, press and delete. The center line is long. Let me click on it and shorten it. Let me deactivate the snap mode. Click on it and drag to shorten. Even this one is a little bit longer. So I'm tidying up my drawing. So once I'm done, reactivate my snap mode. I can realign my drawing. Now I need to transfer this. I'm satisfied now, my drawing is complete. I need to transfer it to this paper space here. Okay, let me go to view. Click there on view. Once I'm there, named views, say create view. You'll see that there is something on your cursor. Let me start this corner here on this side. Press and drag and encompass my drawing. Make sure that nothing is cut out. I'm happy with the center lines, long ones that are cut out. I don't care about those. and then I let go of my mouse, and then I'll press OK. View 1. I go to my paper now. Down here, make sure that paper is clicked. Again, go to view, and then once you are there, go to viewport now. Don't go to named view. Go to viewport. Viewport. Click viewport and go to this corner here. Click and drag until the other corner there. Let go of your mouse and then select view 1 and press go to. See my drawing is appearing, and then I will press close, and then I will press the space button. So there is my drawing. It is complete. It is ready for printing. Okay, make sure that you practice this. If you don't understand anything, rewind the video. Okay, our lesson is complete. You can either print it or save it. Okay, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Until our next lesson, take care.